So we thought before we get started to just do a little prompt question. I want you to find a new friend, someone you haven't met yet, maybe one or two people next to you, and reflect on this question. When you think about our interconnectedness with each other, with nature, and with the larger whole, what is one action, however small or big, that you feel called to take that could ripple outside in the world? So one action, small or large, that could ripple into the world. So we'll spend like 2 minutes and then we'll come back. I invite you to switch to the other person. All right, I would love to invite you back into this moment. Can I get your sacred attention back into the room? These are just prompts, and please find each other later and go deeper. So I have the absolute pleasure. I have the absolute pleasure to introduce the next panel, Holomovement, Science, Spirituality, Story, and Unity. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge Mariko Pitts, who couldn't be with us today. She had to fly early this morning, but here we are. Rachel Morrison is the cultural ambassador for Holomovement, and I have the absolute honor to steward this incredible community, which is truly a movement with a mission to unite the world and bring us into our interconnectedness. So Rachel, you often say nature is our true governance. What do you mean by that, and how does it relate to the climate conversation?
First of all, hi. It's really great to be here with everyone today. And for whatever reason, you are called here in this moment, in this location. So with that, I'd love for you to do just one more prompt. Close your eyes for a second with me. And imagine a place that calls you. It could be this one. It could be your home. It could be a dream location. It could be something or somewhere that you've never been, but you just feel called for some reason. Great. Now, open your eyes, and let's go on an imaginary journey for a second and consider that the reason you might feel that draw, that innate pull to a general direction, place, image, whatever it is, maybe, just maybe, might be nature's way of pulling you to a place where your particular frequency and gift is needed. Now think of that place. what you might do there, create there, connect there. You see, us as a extension of the living earth makes us not separate from the way a bird decides to migrate, makes us not separate from the way a tree decides to grow, or the way a whale just somehow magically knows an ancient song. And such is us. If we have the ability to listen to the self-organizing universe and all of existence that's embedded in our cellular structure and DNA. So, times that by 1,000,000, and you have a governance system that if we have the inherent ability to tap into and listen deeply, then pretty much everything we need to know already exists. But how many times do we let ourselves get in the way of that? How many times, if you had a place that you've never been to and you imagine that beautiful image, have we given ourselves an excuse of why we haven't gone there yet, or whatever the case may be? It doesn't matter. But being aware of our awareness makes us more available for the experience of tapping into our sovereignty as a part of the governing system of the universe. Maybe. Am I in the right room? Yes? Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Well, that leads us to the second question. So often in this work with Holomovement, we talk about interconnectedness through a quantum lens. How does this shift the way we think about climate action?
Okay, I just had a really great conversation with an old friend this morning about this topic, and I'm glad that this is brought up in this way. I think we've heard many times before that the quote-unquote solution that we're all seeking is not in any way, shape, or form a linear answer. Right? By trying to keep account of something as small as carbon sequestering, for instance, we keep things in a very siloed perspective, which doesn't include all the other things that we're not taking into account, which is all of those things that I just previously may have mentioned, not to mention all the other things that exist in this reality. So, if we look at our infinite interconnectedness and see where things are from that perspective, then from the place of what's really needed might not even be found in what's already existing. It could, sure, but if we allow ourselves to only stay into a prescribed reality mentality, then we're not letting ourselves tap into that beautiful place that everybody's been talking to since this morning about that kind of thin layer between infinite and tangible that's needed to be brought forward in a new way. There might be an amalgamation and a combination of a lot of things that already do exist that we can bring into this beautiful basket that is our collective destiny being realized. And there might be an edge here for us, considering that we're pretty brand new on this planet, given that we're probably between the ages of like 20 and 80 in this room. Sorry. And or considering those who have yet to come. Are we to say that the only information that we have access to already exists here and now? Or is there something more for us to consider that doesn't exist, that we have the ability to tap into and bring in?
Thank you so much, Rachel.